They were literally going from one fire to the next.
Now at 7 o'clock, Portland Fire and Rescue investigating 7 fires, all started Sunday morning, all in one Northeast Portland neighborhood. We'll have more on why they think these fires could have been intentionally set.
And a look at the level 3 go now evacuations in place just across the Oregon-Washington border as the Berdoin fire grows to more than 6,500 acres just days after it was first discovered.
We're also talking about a flip phone summer.
What?
Yeah, I guess what's old will eventually become new again. The latest trend that has Gen Zers taking a technological downgrade. Sunrise, streaming live here at 7 o'clock, starts right now.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 7 o'clock on your Monday. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. Are you old enough to have had a flip phone at some point in your life?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Chris McGinnis, I know that you rocked a flip phone at some point in your life as well.
I remember the rotary phone.
Well, there's that.
My
yeah.
grandmom had that, but yes.
I can only go as far as this cord will let me get.
Yes. You know what I liked about the flip phone? That T9 word thing. I could text a mile a minute. And then I had to get to like the whole
Yep.
when we went to the screen, I wasn't as good at it, and maybe I should just stop texting. All right, let me stop texting and tell you about the weather. Rain, the first meaningful rain in 3.5 weeks. Meaningful, measurable rain at PDX. The airport's picked up about 1/3 of an inch, and at last check, I just checked our rain gauge here at our KGW News studios here in downtown Portland, the official reporting station for downtown Portland, 0.41 inches in the last few hours. Okay, that's what fell. That is quickly pressing on off to the south and dissipating. Now, there's some good news here. Well, the rain is good news for all of us, but especially out in the gorge. There is some rain falling on that Berdoin fire in Skamania, eastern Skamania and western Klickitat County. Rainfall since, as of 5 o'clock anyway, 0.4 of an inch of rain here at PDX. Here's a live look right now from our Wells Fargo sky camera. It is 60 degrees. The rain is on its way out. The sun will be back, and we will be topping out in the upper 70s today with warmer weather in my 7-day forecast. We'll check that out in a few minutes. Let's see how the rain is impacting the roads this morning. For that, we get to your traffic map. And there are a couple of trouble spots. I'm going to start off in Camas, SR14, the Union Street on-ramp to SR14 westbound, a fender bender there. The road remains open, but there's some local slowing around that. East side of Vancouver, up on Northeast 119th and 72nd. We've got a fender bender there that's also tying up the intersection. Again, not sure if this is weather related. Rain has been over there for a while. The drive building out of Clark County. This is I-5 at SR14, and of course that's the normal slow and go action there. Right now we're up to about 15 minutes to get you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. Quick look at the west side. Inbound Sunset is still in pretty good shape. China?
Thank you, Chris. Portland fire crews are investigating 7 suspicious fires set early Sunday near Irving Park. The first call came in around 4 a.m. for a tent fire, tent trailer on fire, but more fires quickly followed that. A couple of garages, a shed, dumpster, and tree stumps were damaged. One man says he lost his entire utility trailer.
He came out, grabbed my hose, and tried to pull it out. My neighbor helped. A nice ladder I lost, good one. I was gonna take it out today, but I just didn't have the chance.
Investigators are asking anyone who may have captured video or pictures around Irving Park near Northeast 7th Avenue and Northeast Fremont Street during that time to come forward.
Meanwhile, police are investigating a deadly shooting that happened over the weekend in North Portland. This happened around 11 o'clock yesterday morning near McCoy Park in the Portsmouth neighborhood. We spoke to a woman who didn't want to be identified, but she told us that she tried to help the man who was shot by performing CPR.
I ran across, saw the gentleman who had been injured, took off my robe, gave it to them to help apply pressure. We did CPR to try to help the gentleman.
Portland police also told us one of their officers tried to save the man's life as well, but he died at the scene. According to KGW records, this was the 4th homicide in Portland in the span of 4 days and the 24th in the city this year.
A man has been charged with assault and unlawful use of a weapon after stabbing at a pop-up outdoor rave in southeast Portland left 4 people injured. Portland police say the incident happened along the East Bank Esplanade at Southeast Salmon Street early Saturday morning. Hundreds of people were there. They say that there were multiple fights happening when the suspect, 19-year-old Peter Chalukian, allegedly pulled out a knife. The suspect was one of the 4 people stabbed. He was treated and booked on charges including assault and unlawful use of a weapon. Police are asking any witnesses that they haven't talked to reach out.
Also in Southeast Portland, police found a woman stabbed to death inside a home on Saturday afternoon. When officers arrived at the scene near the intersection of Southeast Foster Road and 143rd Court, they also found 5 young children inside that home.
When they got inside, they located 5 children that were in the home. They were all very young kids. They were uninjured. The officers rescued them, got them out of the home, and quickly got them to paramedics who did an assessment, and my understanding is they're fine.
Police say the suspect was eventually found and arrested a few hours later in Vancouver. Investigators are still working to determine the connection between the suspect, the woman who was stabbed, and those 5 children. The man accused of setting this apartment fire on Portland's east side has been indicted on several charges. 40-year-old Sean Michael Swars was arrested on July 11th and was initially charged with deliberately setting fire to that complex. Officials say Swars lived in the building and he started the fire by pouring gasoline from his front door to his bedroom before he set the fire to his living room. He's now charged with 7 counts of first-degree arson, 4 counts of attempted murder, several counts of assault and criminal mischief, and 4 counts of bias crime.
All Alaska Airlines and Horizon Air flights have resumed after a system-wide ground stop enforced the airlines to temporarily pause flights late last night. Alaska Airlines says that there could be some residual impact from the outage. Travelers are advised to check their flight status before heading to the airport.
Hey, let's take another live look this morning up at Timberline Lodge. This was the scene earlier, still the case. Lots of raindrops on that camera lens there up at Timberline. Chris, I don't know, I think I saw, I wasn't here Friday, but I think I saw where we were calling for maybe a little bit of rain this morning, but man, it's been pretty widespread for a few hours now.
So here's the deal. Like, the forecast models last week did have this low drifting over the northwest, but they were really split. And in fact, not just split, but they were more like 75-25 on will this thing actually produce any moisture. 75% of them said no. That was Thursday. As we got closer to the event, they all started buying into this thing will actually produce some rain, and we arrive at this morning, and yes, it did. In fact, it didn't just rain a little bit. We picked up 0.4 of an inch of rain here in downtown Portland at our KGW News studios since midnight. That wrapped up at about 4:30, 5 o'clock. But as we look off to the south, you can still see the rain clouds, and there's definitely a little plume of rain there falling beneath that cloud cover that's down towards Lake Oswego right now. So the rain pushing down towards the southern part of the metro area. At last check, the sky now starting to clear at PDX. It's back up to 60 degrees now at the airport. Whatever little bit of rainfall that we have out there this morning, it is dissipating, so that's why I say a little bit. It is less coverage and less intensity than we had earlier, and that will continue to be the case through midday. In fact, by lunchtime, Futurecast shows the sky really starting to clear out here over the northern Willamette Valley. Meanwhile, the shower threat does continue in the Cascades and points east, but even there, too, the sweet spot for rain was really overnight and into the wee hours of this morning. For the most part, we're all going to trend towards drier conditions as we roll through the day. And in fact, in the metro area, that drying trend is already happening now. Futurecast likes us getting to 80. I've got us at 79. That's splitting hairs. Obviously, today's going to be quite a bit warmer than yesterday. The clouds really kept the temperatures in check for the second half of our weekend. And I don't think Basil minded at all. Basil is today's KGW Dog of the Day. If you want to get a proper shout out to your favorite four-legged friend, see that email address at the bottom of your screen? Send your photo and your dog's name, and your name if you want, to that email address, dogoftheday@kgw.com. That's all one word. You do that, and we will do the shouting out part. All right, I want to get back to the 7-day forecast. Can I get to the 7-day forecast? I promised the 7-day forecast. Here it is, 86 tomorrow, 90 on Wednesday. So there is some warmer weather coming our way midweek, and then we dial it down as we head into the final weekend of July. All right, let's get you out the door. I want to start with a traffic alert in the Donald Aurora area. If you didn't catch this, Sunday night, for the next 2 weeks, ODOT has closed the northbound on-ramp from Ellen Road in the Donald Aurora area to I-5 North. They're doing some significant reconfiguration there. So that northbound on-ramp will be closed for about 2 weeks. Traffic is recommended. The detour is Highway 551, and I point that out because you can see that red line right now on Highway 551. it's busy. Northbound I-5 traffic all rolling along Highway 551 there, so that's going to keep things pretty busy on that side of town. Here's a look west of West Lynn. The road's still a little wet, but drying out from that overnight rain. And a live look at North Portland I-5 moving along okay near Rosa Parks. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Chris.
So this is my way of taking back my attention span and deciding what role technology plays in my life.
Still to come on Sunrise, Gen Z taking a step back from social media. A look at the new trend known as flip phone summer.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Welcome back. It has become something many people can't live without. We are talking about cell phones.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Cell phones.
Yep. Oh, 2 cell phones.
Yeah, and I bet if you don't have it in your hand right now, it's definitely within arm's reach.
What are you talking about, Willis?
Yeah.
Experts have said for a long time now that being on your phone 24/7 can be bad for your mental health, right?
Oh.
And that brings us to a new trend. Younger people taking a technological step back for a digital detox. NBC's Drew Wilder has more on what's become for some a flip phone summer.
So there I was, scrolling on my phone on the couch, when all of a sudden, it hit me.
I think I spend too much time on my phone.
So I asked my phone, what are some ways people are spending less time on their phones?
Oh.
That's when I found
And
them.
I'm just gonna buy a flip phone and sell my iPhone.
Gen Z calls it flip phone summer.
So this is my way of taking back my attention span and deciding what role technology plays in my life.
The idea is to have a phone in your pocket that isn't constantly. I recently met a Gen Zer named Lauren in Alexandria.
Hi, NBC.
When I saw her phone, I asked the obvious question, why? She answered, flip phone summer.
Flip phone summer is a test of human will.
She put her iPhone away in a drawer and bought a new flip phone for about $100.
What does this do?
So the great thing about this phone is it can do almost anything that a smartphone can do. I guess theoretically, if I wanted to download TikTok on it, I probably could.
Would it work very well?
It wouldn't work.
It makes calls and sends texts, and some safety apps, even a couple of old school games.
Excellent.
And wouldn't you know it, Lauren says she's feeling pretty good.
You know, I've been listening to nature a lot. I've been connecting, I've been thinking my thoughts, and that is a good thing because I didn't have time to do that when I had social media.
What Lauren's feeling is actually backed by science.
The benefits are huge.
Dr. Christina Lee says any form of digital detox has proven health benefits.
Research has shown that can help with improving your sleep, that can improve your mood, that can reduce your anxiety.
I think by the end of this, I'm going to come out a different person with a different relationship with my phone.
A relic that's helping connect people to the present.
Bye.
So I don't know if you guys have this, but I have this thing on my phone where it alerts me I think weekly or twice a week, how much screen time I have.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, you can. I think most people can look and see.
Yeah.
I don't think it's accurate.
So mine says 3 hours a day, and when it pops up, I'm like, I beg your biggest pardon.
3 hours is nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
3 hours of your life.
I've cracked 10, 11. But I think like I use my phone I'm always listening to this sports radio station out of Philadelphia, and I'm constantly on that app. And it's basically playing throughout the day. And I just sometimes turn up the volume.
If you spend 3 hours a day, I'm doing math here, so stay with me. If you do 3 hours a day for the entire week, what is that?
3 times 21?
Yeah.
I mean, 3 times 7 is 21.
That's almost an entire day of your week that you are on your
3
phone.
hours. Think about it, if you have a half-hour phone call to somebody, isn't that? I mean, that's 30 minutes right there, right?
No, I feel like it means like doodadding on it.
Does a phone call count as screen time?
I didn't know.
No, I don't think so, because you're not on screen.
You know what I aspire to be? One of those people that doesn't need a cell phone. That's what I want to be.
Who are those people?
I don't know.
Where do they
I don't know.
live?
But
I do have an uncle like that, and I just think he's weird.
I'm sure that they exist, and I'm sure that their life is much better than ours.
Hey, while you do the weather, I'm going to ask my phone.
I'm going to go do that.
Do phone calls count as screen time, phone?
They shouldn't. I don't know. All right, hey, this is a big deal. This is certainly newsworthy this morning. The big weather headline is our first measurable rain since late June, so about 3.5 weeks. I measured, I looked at our rain gauge here in the Weather Center, 0.41 inches in downtown. We are the official reporting station, by the way, for downtown Portland. The airport picked up about 1/3 of an inch. These are all unofficial as of 5 a.m., but you can see, again, meaningful, measurable rainfall across the region. And now that we've talked about it, guess what? It's all gone. That's it. We are dry in the heart of the metro area right now. We are still seeing the back edge of this last little bit of rain now working its way up into the Cascade foothills, Beaver Creek, down towards Colton, and then down towards the Canby area. That will be leaving your area. If it hasn't already, it will be very, very soon. There is some beneficial rain falling out in the Columbia River Gorge, of course, and that is great news at the Berdoin fire here in eastern Skamania and Klickitat County. In fact, look at this. Radar, we did see some possible lightning strikes with this a few minutes ago. Some of that could have been charged actually by the heat of the fire. But also, look how this band of yellow has just kind of hung out over eastern Skamania and western Klickitat County over the last hour or two. So that's great that we're getting a bit of a soaking rain on that fire area. I mean, this is really, really good news. Likely helping fire crews get a little bit better handle on that. We'll keep you posted. All right, let's look down to the south. Our Wells Fargo sky camera looking at some of the raindrops that are falling. This is, we're looking way downriver towards like Gladstone or perhaps Oregon City. And you can still see some showers falling from beneath that cloud deck. But the vast majority of downtown, the metro area, Clark County has now dried out, and we are effectively done with the rain, I think, for today. 60 last check at PDX. It's 59 in Beaverton. Across the state, we're in the 50s in Baker City. Pendleton right now sitting at 61 degrees. The plan for today, again, showers quickly coming to an end within the next little while here. And Futurecast, actually, I think Futurecast is probably trying to clear us out a little too fast, but we will see sun today. That is the forecast, and temperatures respond accordingly, getting into the upper 70s to near 80 degrees. And if we don't get to 80 today, we certainly will tomorrow. I've got us at 86 on Tuesday with full sunshine. And nearing 90 as we get into Wednesday. So the heat returns at least briefly, and then we slowly dial it back as we go into the weekend. The final weekend of July, and a weekend that will not have 90s in it. How about that? 83 on Saturday, 81 on Sunday. So one pretty warm day, and then outside of that, a pretty quiet and dry forecast once we get beyond this morning. All right, let's get you back to the roads. That is a live look at I-5 in North Portland up near Rosa Parks Way. We had a report of maybe some debris or something on the road southbound near Rosa Parks a few minutes ago. It looks like whatever was causing that little hang-up has cleared. We'll switch gears. This is the evidence of the rain. The rain's done, but the evidence of the rain on the roads here down in Tualatin, I-5 at the 205 interchange. Just be careful as you hit those wet roads this morning. It hasn't rained in 3.5 weeks. We get all that grease and oil building up on the roads, and sometimes that could make things a little extra slick. We haven't had any reports of crashes on the freeway just yet, but just be aware of that. 15 minutes now, your drive coming in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. And Highway 26 right now is about a 16-minute commute to get you in from Hillsborough. Drew?
Thank you, Chris. And some wild video from Florida, an attempted kidnapping caught on camera. Coming up in our next segment, we're going to hear from the teenager in that video as the Sunrise Show, streaming live at 7 o'clock, continues.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Well, we have reached 6 months since President Trump took office for the second time. NBC's Alice Barr brings us a recap of the past half year for the president from Washington, D.C.
I remember I went to Nebraska to get a
6 months into his second term, President Trump claiming to have revived the country.
We hit a lot of home runs, and we're going to keep hitting them.
Celebrating passage of his massive tax and spending bill, controversial migrant deportations, and imposing tariffs on trading partners around the world, with U.S. businesses feeling the effects and bracing for sweeping reciprocal tariffs set to hit at the end of the month.
Nothing stops countries from talking to us after August 1st, but they're going to start paying the tariffs on August 1st.
But as President Trump presses ahead with his agenda, Republican infighting over the case of infamous sex offender Jeffrey Epstein not going away.
I'm ticked off at everybody. Look, this thing should have been handled.
The president claiming his poll numbers have gone up among Republicans since what he calls the Epstein hoax, though new CBS polling shows his overall approval rating declining since February, with Republicans almost evenly divided on the Epstein handling, and 89% of those surveyed saying the Justice Department should release all its Epstein information. After a request from President Trump, the DOJ has asked for grand jury transcripts to be unsealed, but pressure is mounting for convicted Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell to testify before Congress, including from former Epstein lawyer Alan Dershowitz.
She is the Rosetta Stone. She knows everything. She arranged every single trip.
The ongoing controversy looming over the Trump administration 6 months in. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Let's take a look at some other national headlines with your morning rush. We know cleanup is underway now after heavy storms caused flooding across northern D.C. over the weekend. Several areas there were hit with intense flooding. Take a look at some of this video. Heavy rains fell there on Saturday. Drivers in that D.C. area are starting the work week dealing with washed out and in some places still covered roads and highways. Republic Services, one of the country's largest sanitation companies, says it will resume collecting trash today in Washington's King and Snohomish counties. Waste management workers in Washington joined a multi-state strike against that company. The union representing those workers told our sister station in Seattle that they're calling for improved wages and benefits. Microsoft is warning business owners and government officials about active cyber attacks that target SharePoint servers. The threat, though, apparently only affects on-site servers, not the cloud version that's used in Microsoft 365. Microsoft is telling users to immediately download a security update. And that's a look at your morning rush. All right, next up here, take a look at this surveillance video. It shows a man attempting to kidnap an 18-year-old in Florida after he tried to rob her workplace last month. Now, the young woman did manage to get away and call police, and now she's speaking out about what happened. Here's NBC's Jesse Kirsch with the details.
With this young woman's screams piercing the air, investigators in St. Augustine, Florida say her alleged attacker tried pushing her into a stolen pickup truck. But surveillance video shows the teenage store employee would not go quietly. She fought back.
Just that I had to get away, and I was terrified that he was going to hurt me.
In a video released by the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office, 18-year-old Emma Marine, in her own words, now describing the traumatic June 29th ordeal.
It was just a normal day. He came in an hour and a half before the incident, and then he just used the bathroom and left.
Marine says when the man came back, he started grabbing merchandise, and then she tried to stop him from leaving.
I blocked his way, and then he said, "What are you going to do about it?" And then I sort of froze up a little bit.
According to authorities, Marine's attempted kidnapper is 31-year-old Theodore Michael Tundador, who fled and was later arrested. Hands on your head! He now faces multiple charges. NBC News reached out to his attorney, but has not heard back. Meanwhile, the sheriff's office is applauding Marine's response, screaming, fighting back, and getting people's attention.
I hope this can show other women and young females like myself that you can fight back and that it doesn't matter how small you are.
Jesse Kirsch, NBC News.
All right, coming up in our next half hour of Sunrise, we're going to have the latest for you on the Berdoin fire that's burning on the Washington side of the gorge. More Sunrise after this.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
We're coming up on 7:29 on a Monday morning drive. I want to start off with a traffic alert in Marion County in the Donald Aurora area. If you typically use that on-ramp to get onto I-5 northbound, you can't. Not for the next 2 weeks. ODOT closed it last night as they continue road work at that interchange. So all of that traffic now funneling onto Highway 551, and that is creating some delays this morning, and it likely will for the next 2 weeks as that I-5 access is blocked. So everybody using Highway 551 to get onto I-5 into Wilsonville, and that, of course, is running a little slow this morning. Otherwise, we're drying out. In fact, look at that. The sun coming out in Clark County. The I-5 southbound drive, a little slow at the Interstate Bridge. but not too bad. We talked about the rain. Let's show you the radar. The rain wrapping up here quickly across the metro area. A couple sprinkles remaining east of Clackamas, south of Canby, and those are on their way out. The live look from our Wells Fargo sky camera showing a broken sky over downtown. 60 degrees last check at PDX. Showers ending pretty quickly. If they haven't already for you, they will be soon. We're on our way to a high of about 79 today. Warmer weather. In fact, maybe hot by midweek. Back to near 90 on Wednesday.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us on your Monday. Goats, come back. Come on.
Even the
Charles,
the last
don't
one.
Don't be a follower. What a follower.
What's going on?
I expected way more from you, Charles.
We put you on camera to see you, not to watch you walk away.
Come on.
Maybe it's breakfast time. Maybe they go where the food is.
I don't know. Either way, lame sauce.
Oregon Zoo Skycam. This is where the fun is, Goats, the Sunrise Show. 7:30 on your Monday morning, kicking off this half hour, starting the work week off without Rod Hill, who is back, I believe, on Thursday. But in the meantime, Chris McGinnis has this forecast thing handled.
If you were going to the zoo today and you're like, oh, it's raining. No, the rain's over.
Oh, good.
Go to the zoo. Stay with your zoo plans today. The rain that we had overnight is on its way out of here for the most part, with one exception right now. It is still raining this is awesome. It's raining in Skamania and western Klickitat County right over the Berdoin fire right now. Now, we did have a little lightning strike there that showed up a few minutes ago, about an hour ago, actually. But this little band is just sort of pivoting over the fire. So that is great news. Hopefully we don't get too much rain that we wind up with a situation of slides or anything like that. But this is really, really good news this morning. Okay, the rest of us watching the rain taper off a bit. This is the live look, by the way, from our Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera in Lincoln City. You can actually see Cascade Head off in the distance. It's 54 degrees there last check. Well, not sure why I'm showing you this, but it was in the rundown, so let me just explain. A pretty potent little compact system passing through the Pacific Northwest this morning. It's already lifting on out of here, and so what that means is that our weather will be quickly improving in the metro area. Sunshine will be out later this morning, and we'll be on our way to highs in the upper 70s to near 80 today, even warmer weather in the 7-day forecast. We'll look at that in a few minutes. Let's get a look at the roads right now. And for that, we look live in Clark County, where it is predictably slow at the Interstate Bridge. There's I-5 right now at SR 14. We've got the normal slow and go action there, and you can also see the sun has returned to Clark County after that overnight very early morning rainfall. The rain is out of here. South of town, I-5 through Wilsonville, you can see the residual wetness on the roads from the overnight rain, but the drive not in too bad a shape. 17 minutes right now gets you in from Main Street. A quick check of some of the other drive times. Right now, the inbound Sunset's a little slow at the Sylvan Hill, but right now, that's a 17-minute commute from Hillsborough. China?
Thank you, Chris. The Berdoin fire burning on the Washington side of the gorge has grown to more than 8,700 acres since it was first spotted Friday afternoon, and it is still 0% contained.
We're going to show you the evacuation map right now. Level 3 go now evacuation orders are in place for some areas on that side of the Columbia. KGW's Celine Stevens has more on evacuations and the firefighting efforts.
See it like literally all the way up that crest was just flames there for, I don't know, a couple hours at the very least.
The Berdoin fire began burning in Klickitat County Friday afternoon.
2-3 o'clock somewhere in there, you just started seeing this giant pillar of smoke pulling up over the hill, and you could even see the flames at that point. It was just cresting just right over.
All it takes is an ember for the wind to take it, and it ignited that, and then it's been fast moving ever since.
Strong winds in the area not helping as crews attacked the flames from the sky and from the ground as the fire continued to spread to the east and north.
At this point, we're bringing in more attack crews, hand crews, to really get out there on the line. We've got air resources that are already at work out on the landscape, and so we'll be scaling up throughout the day. By the end of the day today, we should have about 250 resources on the fire.
The Southeast Washington Type 3 Incident Management Team took control over the firefighting efforts early Saturday.
We are protecting structures on the fire. There are several hundred structures that are within the area. The level of threat differs depending on which part of the fire that they're on.
It forced the closure of portions of State Route 14 and State Route 142 by Saturday afternoon, plus multiple evacuations that continued growing, including a level 3 evacuation in Lyle, impacting many, like this man's parents.
They live over in Lyle, and I just got a phone call from them maybe 20 minutes or so, and they're going through town telling everybody to evacuate.
The fire, spanning over 1,000 acres, believed to have burned at least one home, according to a witness who says he spoke with the man who lived there.
And you could sort of see a skeleton of a house just on fire, and it was super clear, and he was watching it and taking pictures. The whole thing probably took like 30 minutes, which actually kind of seemed like a long time, but when you think about it, it's like years of work are just gone in half an hour.
Now, for those in need of emergency shelter, the Red Cross currently has 2 available, one at Columbia High School in White Salmon and the other at the Dalles Middle School. In addition to portions of State Route 142 and 14 being closed, Centerville Highway is also dealing with closures. To find out if you're in an evacuation zone, you can go to the Klickitat County's emergency management page and also stay up to date with the latest updates at kgw.com. In Mosier, Celine Stevens, KGW News.
2 other wildfires continue to burn this morning in the Warm Springs area, but evacuation notices have been downgraded there to level 1. So this is time-lapse video of one of those fires, the Butte Creek fire that was first spotted Friday night. This one has grown to about 2,000 acres and is only 5% contained. Meanwhile, the Greeley Heights fire that was spotted on Saturday has covered about 380 acres at this point. It also briefly shut down Highway 26 for a moment, but that stretch of the highway is back open.
There's good news in central Oregon this morning. Crews have managed to get the Cram fire 73% contained. Firefighters say cooler temperatures and calmer winds allowed them to make significant progress over the weekend. That also meant some firefighting resources could return to their home districts. Evacuation levels have been lowered in parts of Jefferson, Wasco, and Crook counties. The fire remains at about 95,000 acres in size.
A search and rescue operation continues in Deschutes County this morning after 6 people went over a waterfall. The sheriff's office there says the group went over Dillon Falls on the Deschutes River west of Bend just about 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon. 3 people were rescued. They were taken to the hospital. Unfortunately, 1 person already found dead, and there are 2 others who are still missing. Officials say there are signs posted to warn floaters to get out of the river before that drop happens, but it's also known as a very high-risk spot.
The issue with that spot is just right around the bend from the Deus area is where the rapids begin. And if people get caught there, it's almost impossible for them to be able to get out.
As recovery efforts continue, the sheriff's office is asking people to stay away from this area so that teams can continue to work without disruption.
A woman in Southeast Portland is asking the city to better maintain its trees after one crushed her fiance's car. Take a look at this. This happened around 4:30 Saturday morning. She says a tree outside their house is in Brooklyn Park, meaning it's maintained by the city. Because of the down power line, she couldn't move her fiance's truck out from under the partially collapsed tree.
As I was standing there, the second branch came down and it landed on top of the first branch and just crushed the truck. And it broke off right there. And me and my roommate ducked because it was so close and branches came down in our porch and everything.
The collapse also damaged the fence and 2 cars at a nearby auto mechanic shop. No one was hurt.
The Oregon Department of Justice is warning people about a scam it says cost a woman in eastern Oregon more than $500,000. Authorities say the scammers posed as federal agents and convinced that woman that her financial accounts were at risk of becoming frozen or getting hacked. Then they had her convert her money into gold bars and sent someone to her house to collect them for, quote, safekeeping. A family member eventually found out and law enforcement did get involved, but she gave away again close to $500,000.
These elderly victims are often left feeling ashamed and embarrassed and are hesitant, even if they suspect that they have fallen victim to a scam. They're hesitant to report it to police or their family members because they're afraid of the judgment that they'll receive.
So just as a reminder, no government agency will ever ask you to buy gold or send someone to your home to collect it. Also, you should never click on links from people that you don't know or links that you aren't expecting, and immediately report suspicious activity to authorities.
Your time now is 7:39. We are taking a live look at Providence Park because...
Yeah, Timbers a big tie on Saturday. I was there, China. I was there, Chris McGinnis. Saturday night, they were trailing 1-0. Got to extra time. I'm thinking, no, this is going to be a loss. And they scored a goal late, and the reaction from the coach, the Timbers coach, if you saw it on social media, was one of the best reactions all season. Coach Phil Neville.
Can you reenact it?
He knew where the camera was on the field, and he's going, and then he finds the camera, and he runs right up to it, and he like grabs it, like,
That's what a coach should do.
It was like a game-saving goal. Again, they didn't win, but the loss would have been really bad, and so they salvaged at least a tie.
Staying in playoff contention.
Yeah, they're having a decent season.
Yeah,
good job,
yeah.
Coach Phil and his player.
You got to scrape and claw to get every point you can, so good for them. All right, we are talking about rainfall. Our first measurable rainfall here in 3.5 weeks in the Rose City. Downtown, the official records are kept here for downtown Portland at our KGW News Studios. We picked up more than 0.4 of an inch of rain in the wee hours of this morning. PDX at the airport picked up 1/3 of an inch of rain. Really beneficial rain across the region this morning. Not everybody got that much, but everybody got at least a little. The rainfall now is working its way into Clackamas and deeper to Clackamas County, getting down towards Redland and then up out towards Damascus and Estacada. And that'll be pushing on off to the south and east over the next little while. As expected, we have dried out pretty much across the metro area. Still raining, though, across portions of the Columbia River Gorge. This is fantastic news. In Klickitat County, where they are fighting the Berdoin fire here, again, in the Lyle area, we've had a couple rounds of showers passing overhead there. So, again, that certainly helps the situation. Here's the live look, by the way, from the Dalles. The air's obviously a little smoky as our cameras pointed off to the west. It's 64, last check, in the Dalles, by the way. Elsewhere, over downtown Portland, the cloud cover's starting to break up a little bit. It's 60 at the airport where the rain has shut off. And last but not least, to the Oregon coast we go in Lincoln City. You can see Cascade head off in the distance, and there too, the cloud cover breaking up a bit. 54 right now in Lincoln City. Our Futurecast shows the rain pretty much over with for Portland now, and the sky conditions will improve pretty quickly as we go through the day today. We will finish our day with sunshine, and temperatures will be noticeably warmer than yesterday. We only got to 70 yesterday. Today we're shooting for about 78 or 79. Again, the rain is pretty well done with. And then, whew, like that, on a dime, we turn right back into our regularly scheduled warm, dry summer. 86 tomorrow, 90 on Wednesday, and then we dial back the heat just a little bit going into the weekend, the final weekend of July. How about that? All right, let's start off with the traffic report in Marion County. We've got a traffic alert in the Donald Aurora area. I-5 northbound, the on-ramp is closed for 2 weeks. ODOT doing some reconfiguration there. So that ramp is closed and all that traffic is headed onto Highway 551. So just know that if you're trying to get out of that region this morning. I'll put the speed sensor on it. You can see northbound Highway 551 puttering along at about 9 miles an hour in from Donald and Aurora. So you'll need some extra time there. We'll go out a little wider. The drive not in too bad a shape this morning. I've got one slow spot showing up right now at the Sylvan Hill. We had an earlier fender bender reported there. It looks like that has cleared, but as we look at your drive times, the trip in from Hillsborough is manageable. 20 minutes isn't that bad for this hour of a Monday morning drive. That's the commute from Brookwood Parkway to downtown. Drew, China?
Thank you, Mr. Chris.
We grow 90% of the U.S. frozen blackberries right here in Oregon.
Yes, we do. Coming up in 2 minutes, a look at a berry special crop grown here in Oregon. Local berry season well underway. Sunrise, streaming live at 7 o'clock, continues after this.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
We are in the thick of summer, and this month, as part of our Fresh from Oregon series, we're highlighting Oregon berries. Christine Pitawanich visited a farm for a closer look at the Oregon crop so many of us look forward to.
Here at Shadine's farm in Boring, they grow everything from tomatoes to cucumbers to pumpkins. But this time of year, what's stealing the show? Berries.
These guys are probably about a week away from peak ripeness.
It is officially berry season in Oregon.
This one's looking real juicy and almost ready to go, and that's what we would call a kingberry.
Farmer Savannah Moe taking in the fruits of her labor. They grow boysenberries, blackberries, raspberries, and many other berries on this farm.
So many different varieties.
So we grow over 20 commercially available varieties of blackberries. Everything from the Marionberry that you know is our tried and true Oregon staple, all the way to new varieties like Columbia Star blackberry.
Darcy Cochis is with the Oregon Raspberry and Blackberry Commission. She says there are about 200 berry farms in the state that grow 30 to 50 million pounds of blackberries every year. And while many of us see the fresh berries at stores and farmers markets, much of it is frozen.
We grow 90% of the U.S. frozen blackberries right here in Oregon.
So why Oregon? Berries happen to love it here.
I mean, really, I just think it comes down to how beautiful our climate is here specifically for berries. We have these wonderful long summer days that bring a lot of heat to sweeten the berries up, and then these cool nights that are able to preserve them for the next day's picking.
Moe and Coaches say when you buy Oregon berries, you're supporting local farmers.
We have no large agribusiness berry farms that are here in Oregon, so we're growing all of those on multiple generation family farms.
The berries that you're getting is coming from a labor of love from the farmers.
Fresh berries here on the farm are harvested all the way into September, so don't worry, you've still got time to get your fill. In Boring, Christine Pitawanich, KGW News.
Christine Eden on the job there, doing that berry report. Chris McGinnis, before you run away and do the weather forecast, all those great Oregon berries, the strawberries, the blueberries, the Marionberries, the blackberries.
Marionberries.
You know what I'm going to ask? What is your favorite?
You're going to ask my favorite, Marionberries.
No doubt.
Somebody told me when I was a baby that I was allergic to them, which I didn't believe, so I immediately started eating them. I'm like, this is good.
Defiance has paid off for
Yes.
Chris McGinnis.
Give me that Marionberry jam. All right, let's get you out the door. You know what berries need? A little water. We got a little water out there this morning. Check out this camera from our Chehalem Tasting Room camera in Sherwood. This is a really cool, moody shot. We've got the grapes down below, and the cloud cover here just sort of slowly dissipating as the rain slowly dissipates across that part of the region. We picked up 0.4 of an inch of rain at our KGW News studios here in the wee hours of this morning. About 1/3 of an inch of rain at the airport. These numbers are unofficial as of 5 a.m., but you get a feel that a lot of us saw meaningful rain, and it is still raining lightly in Oregon City and then a little deeper into Clackamas County. That band of showers is continuing to press on off to the south and east. It's also dissipating as it does so. I also want to point out that we are getting measurable, meaningful rainfall over the fires in the gorge right now in Klickitat County. Check this out. This is over the last 3 hours. The Berdoin fire burning, I want to say basically halfway between Hood River and the Dalles, right? So here, let's see if we can, okay, so there's Hood River, there's White Salmon, Lyle is about here, and we've had some showers over that fire area this morning. So obviously some good news with beneficial rain there. Here's the live look, by the way, from the Dalles. Broken cloud cover there and 64 degrees last check at the Dalles Airport. The Dalles Airport is actually Dallesport. It's on the Washington side of the Columbia River, in case you didn't know that. Bit of trivia for you. 60 right now in downtown Portland, and elsewhere it's 59 in Hillsborough and Beaverton. The big perspective across the state, everybody generally the 50s and 60s this morning. 59 right now in Salem, 60 in Eugene. The plan for today, rain ending in the metro area. It already has for most of us. And the cloud cover will clear out as we go into this afternoon. So we will finish our day with some sunshine. As such, it will be warmer today, and we will be much warmer going into Tuesday and Wednesday. It'll remind you that it is, in fact, July. as we get into the middle part of our forecast. Futurecast likes upper 70s here in the metro area today, maybe 80 out towards the Dalles, mid to upper 70s in the eastern part of the state. We got measurable rainfall, by the way, overnight in places like John Day and Arlington and portions of Grant and Wheeler County. I mean, that is just phenomenal news, right? The plan for today, the rain is over. We'll be on our way to about 70 or so at lunchtime, and then with mostly sunny conditions, I expect temperatures getting into the upper 70s this afternoon. I've got us at about 78 or 79 today. We tack on a good 8 degrees tomorrow. A hot day Wednesday for one day, and then we dial back on the heat slowly but surely heading into the final weekend of July. How about that? All right, let's get you out the door with a live look at the roads up in Clark County. I-5, not in bad shape. It's actually moving along better now than it was just 20 minutes ago, so the drive time improving on that side of town. We'll switch gears. Door number 2 should take us to the south side. This is I-205 in the Gladstone area. About an hour ago, this was pretty wet. You can see the road's already drying out on that side of town. So things improving and the drive times, again, not in too bad a shape. One of our slower commutes in from Wilsonville. It's just shy of 30 minutes to get you in from Wilsonville Road. The drive from Clark County, this is a little misleading because that 17 minutes, most of that is actually between the Interstate Bridge and the Fremont Bridge. So we're already clearing things out on the Clark County side of the river. I do want to remind folks in Marion County, again, this is a big deal for folks that use the I-5 North on-ramp from Donald, Aurora. Drew, that is closed for the next 14 days. So all of that traffic today is using Highway 551. You can see that orange red line indicating a lot of cars moving real slow on that side of town. Back to you.
All right, Chris, thank you for that.
If we're waiting somehow that downtown's magically going to get better, then we're fooling ourselves.
Higgins says it's happy for the help. One of the staples of downtown Portland's restaurant scene said it was on the brink of closing, and then the reservation line became loaded. We're going to have more on this story as Sunrise, streaming live at 7 o'clock, continues in 2 minutes.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
If you want to book a table at Higgins in downtown Portland, you may be out of luck because it is booked for the next couple of weekends.
Yeah, those reservations are a welcome sight for a restaurant that went on social media earlier this month to say it was on the brink of closing. For more on the effort to help out Higgins, here is KGW's Libby Dowson.
Higgins has been around for 30 years, but the staff says downtown isn't what it used to be. So when word got out on social media that Higgins might close, things changed that night.
I got to just say, wow. I mean, we're absolutely overwhelmed by the response.
Higgins Restaurant in downtown Portland is back on track.
Getting close on buns, probably like 10 minutes or so.
Chef Greg Higgins and the crew are prepping for a full house.
We went from 0 to like 75 in one day.
Reservations poured in after Higgins posted this SOS on social media a week ago, saying due to the downturn in downtown, the restaurant may have to close. That night, the house was full.
It shows what can happen if we, all participate. Let it heat a little while, leave them here for a bit.
It was just confirmation that everybody in this town loves this restaurant, and it was very gratifying.
Patrick Strong, the chef de cuisine, has been at Higgins for more than 20 years and met his wife here.
There's not that many restaurants like this, and it's been a huge part of the Portland scene for so long and downtown, and I think if it went away, a lot of the identity of Portland would go with it.
How long have your tarts been in?
The surge in customers has staff rushing to bring in more produce from farmers markets.
Good sized wagon load, probably a couple 100 pounds of produce.
Fish from the coast.
Those were in rigor mortis when they came in. That's how fresh they were.
And meat from ranchers.
We just bought the whole cow and we just sold the whole cow.
Chef Higgins says it shows what can happen if everyone participates.
Every small business, whether it's a hat shop, John Helmer, or South Park, or Q, or Mother's Bistro, all these places, everybody needs your help, and that's what this is all about, is kind of get the ball rolling. You don't want any lumps.
Since COVID, Higgins has been just getting by with the theater and museum crowd, but this summer's been rough. They're hoping more customers will choose to hang their coats and saunter up to the bar to keep this momentum going.
If we're waiting somehow that downtown's magically going to get better, then we're fooling ourselves. Everyone needs to get engaged, and that's what Portland's really great at.
A table for two by the window is waiting. Now you want to make your reservation quickly because we checked online and the next 2 weekends are pretty booked. But the staff says if they can make it through September with a boost in customers, they could be okay. In downtown Portland, Libby Dowsett, KGW News.
KGW News at Sunrise continues live at 8 o'clock on KGW Plus with the latest on the Berdoin fire burning on the Washington side of the gorge.
Yeah, so we'll have that story for you, and we're also going to cover one of the country's most viral moments of the year. We'll talk all about that when we come back.